Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. My name's Rachel, and this is episode 110. And I want to share with you today about how my Meta ads performed for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I did an episode a few weeks ago about my predictions for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, my plans around Meta and what I was going to do on the platform. I hadn't decided a budget at that stage, but sort of the graphics I had planned out and the campaign types, the audience types. But all of that I did preface in that episode by saying that may be turned on its head once I started running campaigns, because Black Friday, Cyber Monday is a once a year thing. And for any of you that do advertise on Meta, you know that a year ago, you can't base any plans you plan to do today based on a year ago and how the platform performed and responded a year ago. So my plans that I had in place for this year and what I was going to do with Meta ads quickly turned on its head, and I quickly sort of pivoted and changed things as I started running campaigns this year. So did you run ads for Black Friday, Cyber Monday? Did you have a big sale? What was your sale? How did it perform? Did you make changes along the way, or did you persevere with what you had planned out? All of those are, there's no right or wrong. Like, it's entirely dependent on your own business, the goals you need or you expect or you want to achieve for that big shopping week, and also the budget you have to spend on Meta and how much flexibility you do have in changing up things as they go along. I looked after two clients' Facebook ad accounts also across that week for their own Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaign. So I was looking after my own e-commerce store and also two clients' Meta accounts as well for that week, which I'm not sharing any of their data, obviously, in this episode. I might do a case study about them in the future if I reach out and ask for their permission, of course, which I haven't done. So I'm not going to share anything of what I did for their campaigns or how they performed, and what I built or how much I spent or anything like that, their results. But I will share with you some of my own e-commerce brands results and what I did. I have 17 points. I'm going to have to really skip through these quick to make this episode a sensible length, because I know you're all busy. We all have things to be doing. So I'm going to run through this pretty fast. And a lot of this is honestly just my own professional strategy, experience, the thoughts, my own kind of analysis of what went on inside what I saw with Meta. So this is not in any particular type of order that you should be drawing up a graph or taking significant notes and plotting out your own strategy for next year, because this will be different next year. It's so funny. This episode, I almost wondered if it was worth doing for you guys, because this feedback from this year and how my ads performed will not bear out next year. It just won't, because it didn't this year for 2023 and what happened either. So, but it's good to know what happened for other businesses, because I wonder if you'll be able to lay this over your own experience and what happened with your own ads if you chose to run them for your own brand. And it may help you feel encouraged that what happened for you was usual. It may help you understand why things didn't perform well for you. It may help you see why things did perform well for you and it was across the board or it was a usual thing. Or it may help you honestly reach out to me for next year. If you are struggling with your spend on Meta in general, you're just frankly frustrated with how much you spend and the results you get, and you don't understand what's going wrong where. That's a really tricky place to be in, because how do you evaluate what's going well or not going well, and how do you decide what your next move should be if you don't actually really understand the platform, the data, and maybe what did happen for you? So if you need a bit of an analysis for yourself, I encourage you to reach out for an audit of your ad account, particularly across maybe the sale of Black Friday or even Christmas sales if you're watching this episode in 2025. And let me have a look at the data for you and give you some feedback on what went wrong and what I think you could potentially gather from the experience and plan better for next time, or help you understand your budget and what you spent and maybe why things went the way they went, or maybe what you could spend differently next time, or as an evergreen content ongoing. So many avenues. And if you followed me for a little while, you will know that Meta Ads plays was one part in my e-commerce store. And an episode I did a couple of weeks ago about my predictions for social media in 2025 really highlight that social media ads and meta ads plays one part in a successful online brand. And there are very few examples in 2024 of an e-commerce brand being profitable solely on their ad spend anymore. That was massive in 2020. Many people, thousands of people, me included, started small e-commerce brands on Shopify and were able to be profitable purely with Facebook ads. That is not the case at all in 2024. So meta ads for next year, they need to be a pivotal part of your e-commerce success, but they do just represent one part. There are other parts. Organic social media will be much bigger next year. SEO, do you have a subscription service or something? Are you doing blogs for SEO and things like that? What do I have in mind? And email marketing also plays a significant role. Anyway, let me get back to the topic here. I'm going to run out of time. So I started my sale earlier this year than I had planned to. I actually started it on the 15th of November, but a couple of reasons. I wanted my ads to have time to find their feet if they were performing well. I also wanted to start earlier and give these two clients that I was supporting feedback after a few days of what I was testing, so I could give them recommendations before they started running their campaigns. And if I started running mine the same time I started running theirs for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I was really going to be learning on their account and their dime and their dollar, and that doesn't sit well with me at all. So I started my campaigns a few days earlier than I had planned to start supporting their campaigns, so that I could give them some feedback, initial feedback, before starting work on their accounts. That meant I was obviously spending my own money on my own accounts and not experimenting with their accounts and their money. That doesn't sit well with me at all. So I started it early. I also started early because I saw a significant decline in sales from late October. My website traffic was consistent. Even my sessions were consistent. My add to carts were even consistent. But my conversion rate plummeted from late October. And I think, if I think about my own behavior as a customer, I think it's because people were waiting for the sale. People were waiting to see what I was going to discount and when I was going to run a sale, and if I would even run a sale. So if you found that your sales dropped early, like if maybe in October that things started to drop a little bit, you may find, you won't know this for sure necessarily, but perhaps it's because the same reason as mine dropped, is that I think people coming to my website were looking for a sale and they weren't going to shop unless there was one. So that's also why I decided to start mine earlier, because I'm like, man, these people keep coming to my website, no one's shopping. So I started my sale earlier. I also increased the discount. I was going to do a 30% off store-wide. I changed to 40%. I thought, you know what, go hard or go. Hey, you can lock in your price with me for the rest of this year if you book yourself a discovery call before the end of 2024. My name's Rachel from Aussie, online growing on shopify.com.au, and I help small micro businesses grow online in Australia. If you're looking for more customers, more website traffic, more eyes on your brand, more leads and more conversions and more sales, and you want to understand how the process works, how does a customer even find me to begin with, and how do I know where they found me, and then how do I know how to nurture them, I encourage you to book a discovery call with me before the end of this year. You will lock in the price on my website. My prices will go up on the 1st of January 2025, but if you book a discovery call now on the website, if you just make your booking before the end of 2024, the prices on my website will be the price you pay. You can work with me for just 30 days as well. I don't offer huge long retainer packages on my website. Those things I chat about with clients in person, but I really want to sort of like help you feel as secure and comfortable as possible in working with me for the first time. So you can book just a 30-day project window, and I can help you with a specific project in your Shopify business to help you with Facebook ads, customer journeys, and email mapping, email marketing, to really get you further along in where you are to get you some data to help you make better decisions about the next steps in growing your e-commerce brand. Head to my website and book yourself a free discovery call. You can actually put it right in my calendar. It's just a 25-minute call. It's free. And if you do it before the end of 2024, the price on my website will be fixed for you. If you're an existing customer, an existing client of mine, then you have the locked-in price. Feel free to send me an email and we can work together for a 30-day project window, whether it's this year or next year in 2025. Whenever it is, if you are a previous client, the price will stay the same for you. You won't have to worry about it going up. Go home. Like, I either want to make some significant revenue over these next couple of weeks. I either want to move a heap of inventory or I don't. So I decided to up my discount to 40% off store-wide instead of 30%. That absolutely worked for me. I had great sales, really great high average order values, people coming back a couple of times across a couple of weeks. And I moved a heap of inventory, so it was really great. I started off by setting up 2 campaigns. I have talked a lot in the last few episodes about Advantage Plus shopping campaigns with Meta, which is their AI, one of their AI sort of offerings or AI campaigns. And I've had success on and off with that type of campaign through 2024. And most notably in August 2024, I ran an Advantage Plus shopping campaign, which for any of you, if you don't know, is Meta's e-commerce solution for ads. It's a very easy few clicks to set up, which is actually why I don't like it. It's too easy to spend a lot of money very quickly with an Advantage Plus shopping campaign if you don't know what you're doing and you're not looking at all the settings that they pre-set for you and kind of turn on. Anyway, I did that in August and I lost a lot of money in August. It didn't perform well for me at all. I think I lost about $1,000 through August running that campaign. But I also ran the same campaign back in March and April of 2024 and it went gangbusters and performed really well for me. So it is still a real volatile campaign, but I thought, do you know what? If I'm going to try Advantage Plus shopping campaign again with Meta soon and give it another test, when else is a good time if not Black Friday? If not a huge sale? Meta surely will do such a great job for me if this campaign is even going to work for me this time around during a sale period when lots of people are on the platform looking for a bargain. There are lots of shoppers around spending Christmas money. So I decided to set up 2 campaigns. I set up an Advantage Plus shopping campaign and I set up a regular purchase conversion sales campaign. I gave them both a budget of $50. So I was spending $100 a day in the first 4 days. So each campaign had $50 to spend. If you're going to do Advantage Plus shopping campaign as a test for your own e-commerce store, I really, really believe you need to spend at least $50 a day to make the test worthwhile. It needs a big budget to really see if it's going to perform for you or not perform for you. So don't set up that campaign, in my opinion, for less than $50 a day. If you're going to do that campaign type, which is linked to your Shopify catalog, when you set up Advantage Plus shopping, it links to your Shopify catalog. It pulls product photos from your website into the ads. You do very little in the creative end of these ads. I think that's the way it performs best. You let the AI and Meta find the audience. You let them show a specific product to a specific user based on your Shopify catalog. You have very little to do with how that campaign looks to the users on Facebook and Instagram and who sees them. But it did so well for me this year. I started that campaign and a purchase conversion campaign. And after 3 or 4 days, my purchase conversion campaign was sluggish compared to the Advantage Plus shopping. I turned it off, I think, after 4 days because Advantage Plus shopping really did find its feet fast and started performing really well for me quickly. So I turned off my regular purchase conversion campaign, which had the fancy Black Friday designed graphics I had created for it. I just turned it off. And I listened to a podcast episode from one of the big agencies I follow in the US, and she was talking about Advantage Plus shopping, and she made the point, which I think is really worth reiterating to you guys listening. Meta's AI and the algorithm in the back of Meta that even finds your customers to begin with and serves your ad to a certain group of users on Facebook or Instagram, the algorithm and the AI in the back of Meta with Advantage Plus shopping campaign, that algorithm is actually a different algorithm than what your regular sales purchase conversion campaign algorithm is built on and how it learns and serves to users. They're different algorithms. How interesting is that? Which absolutely accounts for the difference I saw in how those two campaigns performed. They're different algorithms. So over the sale period of like Christmas, Meta is pushing its own product. It makes perfect sense why it worked. I hope yours worked if you tried it. If it didn't, please reach out to me. Let me work out for you why it did not perform. But it makes perfect sense that Meta will push Advantage Plus shopping harder. It's its own product. It wants you to use it. It wants you to let it have control over all of your ads dollars. Then it will push your regular purchase conversion campaign. So I turned off my regular purchase conversion campaign because it was sluggish compared to Advantage Plus shopping. That was unexpected for me. I absolutely did not expect that to happen. And that's where I ended up spending my dollars through the 2 weeks in the lead up to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. The other thing that I found interesting was that my sales across the actual weekend plummeted. Across Black Friday, Cyber Monday, those sales were really slow. My sales performed much better in the 2 weeks in the lead up to that weekend. And then over the actual weekend, I think I only broke even based off of my sales and my campaigns that I was running. So that's just how it performed in my account. Each account is very different. And that's the thing with Advantage Plus shopping. It is very unique to your account, your pixel and your data and your products and your shopping catalog. It's very specific to your account. Mine performed really well with Advantage Plus shopping in the lead up to that critical weekend, but then not so much across Black Friday and actually Cyber Monday as well. So by that stage, it had really sort of petered out. So I turned it off come Cyber Monday anyway, which of course was going to be the plan. The other thing I want to tell you about how things performed is I added a frame to the creative. When you build Advantage Plus shopping, when you get to the ad level, you can actually edit the creative and add a frame. So I just created a frame in Canva. Literally is like a little colored frame that sits around the product image. And then you download that from Canva as transparent and your product shines through with a frame around the edge. Do you know, when I saw my ad in my own Instagram and Facebook feed, those ads really popped out. They really stood out to me because it had a colored frame around the product photo that was branded. And I added some words to that frame as well. I think like 40% off or something like that. So in the ad level of an Advantage Plus shopping campaign, you can actually edit the creative to add something like a frame. So I did that and I found that performed really well. It looked great in my own feed when I saw it as well because it really stood out. The product stood out, the copy that said Black Friday stood out, but the frame around each product, because it shows as a carousel, really popped out, and it said sale and it was a branded color frame to my e-commerce store. That was really good. I'm glad I did that. And that feature you can edit and add inside the ad level of that type of campaign. Another thing, let me share with you that I found was that overall the results I got were about $15 per purchase, which is crazy cheap. That is the cheapest results I have had in the whole of 2024. It makes me wish I'd started this campaign at the start of November, given it more time to get me results, and I could have scaled the budget more if I'd had more time. But it was the cheapest results I have had all year on Meta with purchases. So I was stoked with how well this performed and frankly surprised. I was frankly surprised with how well it performed as well. It just goes to show that ads and Meta really is a changing beast. You need to be on the platform often. You need to stay current with what's going on, and you need to come back to features and test and try them over time. If they do well for you one time, that's great. The next time they don't do well for you doesn't mean it's a terrible feature, because something like an AI-based campaign like Advantage Plus shopping is not going anywhere. Meta is not going to shelve this type of campaign. It will only get better with time, and it will perform better over time as well. So revisit it if you haven't done it in a long time, and you may find that it really takes off and really finds its feet well for you inside your campaign or your ad account. The last thing I want to share with you was that originally I had planned on doing a cold audience campaign and a warm audience campaign. But for this year, I changed and I only did cold. It was a bit of a last minute decision based off of one significant thing. In the last several months, Meta has changed many of its objectives. And when it comes to lead objectives or sales objectives with its campaigns, it is now retargeting for you and for us. We can't turn that off. We used to be able to turn off retargeting inside the audience level and the ad set level, but we can't now. So Meta will retarget no matter what we want with particular campaign objectives, sales being one of them, leads being another one. So it made sense to me as I was thinking about my budget and what I wanted to spend. Why even bother with the retargeting budget? My business is not big enough that I have a huge, like tens of thousands and thousands and millions of people inside a retargeting audience that really need their own budget. My business is still very small. I'm a micro business. Like I've turned over less than $100,000 in the last year. So I'm still growing. I'm in the very early stages. It didn't make sense for me to have a separate retargeting budget when I sat down to build my campaigns. I put all my money into a cold audience, basically into like Meta, into the Advantage Plus audience. In other words, Meta finding these people for me instead of me telling them where to find these people, knowing that Meta was going to retarget anyway. So the last several months that I have been spending on building a warm audience of people on the platform with my top of funnel ads that I've been running for several months to build this warm group of users that I was going to retarget, I did not specifically retarget them because I knew Meta was going to anyway. It makes sense to me that the group of people I have built on the platform who've engaged with the video, with the post, and with my account, or they're an existing email subscriber, so my Klaviyo list, all of those like warm users on Facebook and Instagram, it makes sense to me that because Meta is going to do retargeting anyway, whether I want them to or not, Meta will reach out to that group and pull the purchases from it in my cold audience campaign. I don't need to set a retargeting campaign separately anymore. Probably, I'm not even sure if I will much next year. I don't know yet. I'll have to test and try and see what happens. But if those people are already warm anyway on the platform and there are purchases in those hundreds and those few thousand groups of users, Meta will find them. Meta will find them because it looks better for them. It makes the results cheaper. And so I want to spend more with Meta. So of course they're going to find them. It makes sense. It's in Meta's best interest to find those purchases inside those warm audiences I've been building. So I didn't have a separate campaign for retargeting. If I was a multi-million-dollar brand and I was spending thousands of dollars every day on the platform, I probably would have a separate retargeting campaign. But I'm a very small brand. I was spending $100 a day on the platform. So it didn't make sense for me to retarget them separately, knowing anyway Meta was going to retarget my audience whether I wanted them to or not. So I didn't. I just targeted. I pushed the budget to the same audience. I didn't pull out a separate retargeting audience. That was an unexpected change for me as well. So a couple of big changes based off of what I thought was going to happen, and it definitely didn't play out at all like I thought it would. So if yours didn't either, you're not alone, because whatever happened in 2023 is like way back in the rear view mirror when it comes to the land of paid advertising and Facebook and Instagram ads. When you go on YouTube, when you go looking for podcasts about other Facebook, Instagram, paid traffic specialists like myself, please don't go to content that's from last year and build a campaign based off of that advice. The same with me, because the platform's not the same and it won't be the same in 2025 either. So stay current, stay in it, or reach out to somebody who is current and who is in it for some support and some guidance and strategy for your own advertising dollars, so that you really feel like you are working with someone who's still in the game, who hasn't hung up their hat and is now selling a course to you based off advice from 2 years ago or 4 years ago. That will be a complete waste of money. That's probably my little rant to wrap up this episode. I hope this episode was valuable. It feels a little diary-like, that I'm kind of just chatting to you with what I found worked and didn't work this year with Meta ads across the specific sort of 2-week period I ran a Black Friday sale. So I hope you found some value from it, and I hope it kept you company with maybe how your own ads performed and a bit of insight for you, and maybe going and looking at the data for yourself and understanding how the platform performed in general might help you understand your own results. Please reach out to me for a discovery call. You can lock the price in with me too if you book a call before the end of December. Just put it in my diary before the end of December 2024, and then my prices will stay the same for you if we work together next year. So like beat the price rise that I've got coming on the 1st of January. Head to my website and book yourself a free discovery call to work on a project for your e-commerce store just across a 30-day window, so you're not locked into a retainer or anything like that. I can help you with email marketing or, of course, Facebook and Instagram ads. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, as always, we are CEOs. Keep learning.